Today, we follow Kennedy Scales, a multimedia journalist at WHSV News.
Oh, hi. My name is Kennedy Scales, and I'm a MMJ here at WHSV News in Harrisonburg, Virginia. And today I want to show you guys what it's kind of like to be an MMJ here, especially in 2025 as a young journalist as well. So first, I usually, as you just saw before, I pull up, get out the car, and walk in with my head held high, ready for the day. So I think now that social media, once again, is so much bigger now, it's important as a journalist to make sure that you're not only telling the news just on television, but also in an aspect of through social media platforms that we have now today. So once I arrive to work, I come to my desk and I pull up my emails to see what kind of stories I may have for the day, and I write them out on my handy dandy notebook. After that, I head over to our meeting table to pitch my stories for the day. So I always tend to look for stories that, for one, are timely and also relate to the community. I'm here in Harrisonburg, Virginia, so of course it would make sense for me to look, for stories that are somewhere else in a different city or whatnot, like Richmond or even like Hampton, for example. But sometimes what I'll do is look for those kind of stories here in the area, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram, or even through a press release that be sent through, and finding a way to localize it. And then also just trying to figure out, will this maybe help someone? Is it timely? Will this maybe make a difference in spreading awareness? Me as an MMJ, as a journalist, my goal has always been to try and shed a light on things and try and find a solution maybe when it comes to certain situations. So that's kind of how I would angle throughout my day with my stories or whatnot, and try and figure out what I want to report on. After my producers and I have discussed what my stories are going to be today, whether it's going to be a VOSOD or a package or a fronted VOSOD, there's so many different things you can do. I'll get on up and head to the equipment room and gather my important items for the day, which is right over here. Follow me. All right. Here is where I'll grab my camera bag. And my handy dandy tripod. And over here, I'll grab my camera, which today I'm going to take blue camera. And I'll just start packing my bag here.
How has your storytelling approach changed since journalism became more visual and social media driven?
Yeah, so now a lot of times what I'll do is I'll try and not only go out and report on stories or whatnot, but I'll try and make social media reels and get pictures and videos as well. I recently did a story at Mary Baldwin University at a protest they were having, and I made sure to get plenty of visuals. That was a great visual opportunity, and I sent it over to our digital content creator, Michael, and he helped put that together to kind of put together like a little reel, and was able to kind of put that out there, and I was going to post it on my Instagram as well and Facebook or whatnot, collaborate, and it draws a lot of attention to that, and also kind of helps grasp attention from people at different demographics as well. So I think now that social media, once again, is so much bigger now, it's important as a journalist to make sure that you're not only telling the news just on television, but also in an aspect of through social media platforms that we have now today. So. And you want to make sure, of course, everything is accurate and is, put together. And that's why we have, digital content, creators and management here that can kind of look over those things. We have our producers that look over those things. But just as an MMJ and as a reporter myself, just taking the time to, check back over what you're writing and what you're editing, and taking time to make sure that what you have in mind to, be shared out to the community is being told in your editing and in your writing. Here is the edit bay where all the editing happens. I'm a dayside reporter, so usually my goal is to be back by 2:30 p.m. and have my stories done by a deadline 4:30 for scripts and 4:45 for video.
What would you say is next when it comes to this room?
Pulling up my emails is really important. It helps me make sure that I have something to reference back to when I'm writing my stories, and that I'm spelling things like names and titles correctly at all times throughout the show when putting in people's lower thirds. Guess what? The food drive was so nice. They used so much.
In a fast-paced news environment, how do you maintain your credibility as a journalist?
After I finish writing and editing, and after my scripts have been approved by my producers, now it's time to track. The Division of Research, Economic Development, and Innovation at James Madison University teamed up with its campus community once again for an animal food drive to help those in need in the area. All my stories are in for both the 5 and 6 o'clock news. I finally come back to my desk where I'm able to start on my web article for the day. People are sharing things all over the world in different ways, and a lot of that has to do with social media. I also would say too, in terms of like having to make sure that things are reported correctly and accurately. There's a lot of AI going on and things like that that are just, it's growing and growing, and it's harder to kind of figure out what's true and what's not true. I think a lot of journalists are going to have to really focus from the inside the station before anything goes out, making sure that things are reported accurately and effectively and are coming from our hearts, our minds, and from what the work that we've done, and not from anything that's coming from technology necessarily all the time. It's not always bad, but I think just making sure that, you know, news is supposed to be real. It's supposed to be real and have a connection with your community. You don't want to let technology and AI corrupt that. Here at WHSV, we use a platform called ARC for our website articles. Bye, guys. In the next 5 years or next few years or whatnot, I see journalism really taking a big hit in terms of also, I would say, like social media as well, just because I know a lot of our generation, Gen Z, is kind of growing into the workforce now, and the way that we receive things a little bit differently than generations before. And like I mentioned before, I think that that's going to be that's going to play a big part in the newsroom now, is having like MMJs and reporters and even anchors finding ways to connect with the community through more than just TV or just through the newspaper or just through news articles, because it's so much bigger than that now. I think that would be my second thing I would say. Journalists are going to have to kind of double, triple check now on making sure that everything they're reporting is not involving too much of AI and stuff like that, and just taking extra time to make sure that their reporting is their reporting. So the last thing I'd like to just add is I'm so grateful to be here at WHSV News, and this has been an amazing opportunity so far, and I'm so glad to continue working here. I have so much more to learn. I've only been here for 5 or 6 months, and I've already have grown so much, and I can't wait to see how other students at Hampton University will continue to grow as well once they get out of school and start their first job. And I just hope that the words that I've said here today, and even like with the day in a life walkthrough, kind of gives you an idea of what that looks like, and hopefully you can step into my shoes as well and get that experience in the news world and help make a difference in your community as well. But just continue, like I said, being yourself, working hard, and being the best version of yourself, and you will go a long way no matter what you do. So thanks for your time.
Today's conversation reminds us that journalism in 2025 is more than deadlines, dashboards, and digital noise. It's about people. It's about the storytellers who wake up every day ready to inform, challenge, and connect us in a world that never stops moving. As we follow the evolution of the newsroom from early morning alerts to late night reflections, one thing is always going to remain: the power of truth. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey behind the screens and inside the life of a modern journalist. If you enjoyed this, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who's passionate about stories that matter. Until next time, keep asking questions, keep seeking truth, and keep listening. This is Brooklyn Miller.